What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's Big Couch Co-op podcast, a community where your thoughts count and your voice will be heard. As always, we're going to be talking about the biggest news in games, tech, movies, and more. This week, we're going to dive a little bit into EA's talk of their Battle Royale inclusion in the next installment of Battlefield, and some of the rumors that are swirling around about an open-world Star Wars game. And what about that new Deadpool movie trailer that just dropped? So call a cushion on the couch and let's do this. All right, well, we're back at it again for another week of information on video games, like I said. And, first of all, before we dive into it, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone out there in the audio podcast realm and those on YouTube, you guys that have watched these videos. Your support is what keeps me going. Again, this is a side project. I spend all my downtime, dedicated to it. I've gotten some people recently that say that I'm just going to fall off and, I do it here and there and I don't do it as regularly as I should. I'm not going to make myself anything in the space or whatnot. Basically just saying I'm not going to succeed in it. Well, to those naysayers, here I am. All right. It is hard to do this, especially when, your downtime it's for your hobby, but it's also to do something that it's very labor intensive. For all those that do follow me and know me, this is my second recording. My computer crapped the bed, so I had to do a workaround, and I'm recording for a second time, so it's going to take another half an hour to record. I had to wait all day because the lighting around here is not the best, so it looks really weird, so, it's a labor of love, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So when I get people that say, you're not going to do anything with it, or, you're not going to be consistent with it. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not going to be consistent. I'm trying. This is a side project, so I give as much as I can. But your doubt in me only steals my resolve. It makes me want to do this much, much more. So, I'm going to do this as frequently as I can and try to do the best I can. So, I need your guys' help, though. I need your guys' opinions and thoughts and your views and your shares, likes, whatever you want to call it. The more I get support on this, more traction I can get, the more people I can get to see what I'm doing and, either give critiques or give professional opinions or just say, hey, let's give this guy a shot. So, I'm trying and I'm learning stuff every week. To the podcast listeners out there, and those that don't have always all the time to watch every YouTube video, I am now on iTunes podcast, so you can search me through any of your iOS connected devices. It was a big win for me. It took quite a while for me to figure that out, and I'm doing this on a budget of $0 and all my time. So, it's a huge win for me to be on iTunes, and it's kind of like a sense of pride that I see my podcast and my labor of love up next to people like Kind of Funny, like, now it's ID at 10T, but Nerdist and Chris Hardwick and, Michael Rosenbaum. I see these people doing what they absolutely love, and their podcasts are the things that are driving me to do what I want. So, again, to the naysayers, that's cool, but I'm going to continue to push as hard as I can. So let's just get into some gaming news. First things first, we have rumors over at DICE, EA, whatever you want to call it, where they talked in their earnings call about their concerns and their interests in the Battle Royale space. Now, according to a couple people that talked during their earnings call, the next installment of Battlefield may have a Battle Royale mode. And that's kind of because they're looking at what happened with PUBG and Fortnite and the success train that they're on. that they spoke to it and they're saying, hey, our game's going to be out in October, so we do know that the next Battlefield installment will be out in October this year, and they're thinking about putting Battle Royale mode in there. Now, I think that's pretty cool. They have all of the assets to do it. They got massive maps. They have servers that can handle all the people that want to play. But what I'm concerned about is that I do not want them to be making this the centerpiece of the next Battlefield. I don't want them to promote this so much and bank on it so much that it kind of kills off what Battlefield is known for. Battlefield is a skilled version of Call of Duty. I absolutely love Battlefield 4. Played a little bit of Battlefield World War One. Kind of fell off, or Battlefield 1, whatever you want to call it. I fell off. Didn't absolutely love it, but I have respect for those games and the skill that it takes to play those games. So I don't want them to dumb themselves down just to get a couple bucks. I mean, the franchise does well. Make it a mode, promote the mode, but don't make it the centerpiece. And don't try to go up against Fortnite or PUBG. Those are games that it's not your realm. Stay in your realm kind of thing, and you'd be crazy to go up against those where they've been riding a success train for quite some time. So, again, we'll see. It seemed to work for PUBG. Maybe it'll work for Battlefield, Battlefield 2. That I think that they're probably going to go World War II on that. I don't know. So next we have information surrounding a possible open world Star Wars game. And in a recent article by Alex Osborne over at IGN, basically he went on to say that EA's posted a job listing at their EA Vancouver career page, and basically it's saying that they're looking for a lead online engineer. And according to the actual listing, it says, quote, a lead team, or to lead a team to deliver online features for a Star Wars open world project, unquote. So they're looking for a lead online engineer to head up that project. Now, as we all know, EA Vancouver was working with Amy Hennig on a Star Wars project, but we're not 100% sure how far they got and, all the details surrounding that, because Amy Hennig was let go and the project was put on ice for some time. We're not 100% sure if they scrapped everything in the project or, they're taking assets from that project and they're going to put it into this newest game. So, I think that they're starting to get a direction of what they want to do for the project in the new game. But I don't know if this online open world was a part of the original game, if it was the whole idea of the original game, or it was just one aspect of it. So, maybe it was a concept they're trying to flesh out and see, could it work? So, I think that they would be absolutely insane to take this entire project and scrap it. But again, it is EA. They can throw all this stuff away in a moment's notice and not really suffer, because again, they have massive success with not only FIFA but Madden. So they can go any way they want. But I would expect that they're probably going to use some of the stuff that was developed with Amy Hennig and that team. So, and this is really far off. This is them still just recruiting people. So I wouldn't expect to see anything in the next year to 2 years, if that. So, maybe 2020 we'll hear something if the game is close to completion. I don't know. We'll see. In other rumor news and speculations, there's a possible release of a new console from Sony. Now, I only say that because a lot of things have pointed to a release, but I'm not saying, and again, this is my opinion, I'm not saying that it's going to come out next year, probably in 2020. So we got about 2 years from everything that I've seen. So I don't know, and I only say that because there's a couple things that point me in that direction. First, the PlayStation 4 was released in 1994. The PlayStation 2 was released in 2000. The PS3 was in 2006. And the PS4 was in 2013. So we have, 6 years between PS1 and PS2. and then 6 years for PS2 and PS3, and then 7 years between PS3 and PS4. So, it's right around that time frame. Right now, we're right around 5 years. 2020 would give us, that 7 year mark, but a lot of people were saying that, 7 years was too long. And there's a lot of factors even to that. One biggest factor is the economy was down. You can't expect people to buy a system at $300-$400 knowing that the PlayStation 3 didn't do the greatest, especially against, the 360. You don't want to shove another thing down people's throat at $300-$400, and they can't pay for it because they don't have money for it, So it was smart of them to hold off and extend the life cycle just like Microsoft did. So, that factor alone is the reason why it took 7 years. And why would you release something that has already been doing really, really well? You would cut into that life cycle, and people are not going to jump on board for the newest system, PlayStation 5, whatever you want to call it, if they've already got something. I still think that my PlayStation 4 is almost new in my mind, but again, it is 5 years old, so we'll see when it comes to that. But the other big factor that points me to believe that they're going to quite possibly announce something in 2019 is that the email coming out about PlayStation Plus games for PlayStation 3, and they're saying that, they're pretty much cutting off the support for PlayStation Plus games, the free games you get every month, that they're not going to do that anymore. They're not going to support PlayStation 3 as of May 2019. So that kind of leads me to believe that, 2019 E3, we're probably going to see rumors or something showing off a PlayStation 5 or whatever they're going to call it. So we'll see on that. Again, a lot of rumors surrounding it these days, but I think we're really far off. They'd be crazy to push anything right now. I also want to highlight GDC that went on this week. And, for those not familiar with it, GDC is the Game Developers Conference. And typically not a lot of information comes out from GDC. But you got to remember that, GDC isn't a marketing ploy for all of the game developers. This is more of, for them to get together and kind of talk about the projects they got going on with not only other developers, but some publishers. So this is their face-to-face time with those people, so they can, let them know, hey, this is a game that we got coming out in the next couple of years. If you guys are interested, get that FaceTime with them and hopefully get somebody to back them as far as publishing. And again, we don't hear too much about from GDC typically, but if you guys have heard anything and I'm missing something completely, like huge game news, please let me know. Please let me know. I put it in the comments, email me. I'm on Twitter and all that. Let me know, bigcouchcoop@gmail.com, bigcouchcoop on Twitter. Comments in the video below, let me know something came out. So kind of backtracking a little bit, more Fortnite news. And again, Fortnite is everywhere these days. I completely understand that, we're almost bombarded with it, but they're doing so well that they are everywhere, and everywhere being mobile phones. In one short week, Fortnite's app and being released on iOS has made $1.5 million. That's insane numbers for a free game. That's right, $1.5 million on a free game. So what they did is they pretty much released a mobile version of the game, and you have to be invited to be able to play the game. I haven't got to play it yet. If there's anybody out there that has an invite, send it my way. I would like to try it. And, the sad thing to this is that kids have been playing this game. Yeah, not that factor is sad. The factor is that's sad is these kids are playing it in school. They're playing over school Wi-Fi, and it's disrupting schools' Wi-Fi's, according to a couple of articles. I mean, I think it was Patricia Hernandez over at Kotaku that specifically talked about, schools complaining that their Wi-Fi is horrible, and other students complaining their Wi-Fi is horrible because everybody's playing Fortnite in the middle of class. Now, a little rant here, but and kind of dating myself. I'm old. The big cell phone that was out when I was a kid in high school was, the Nokia 5110, the old, candy bar brick style phone that the only game you could play was Snake on it. So it's the kids out there playing the video games in class. Stop. And schools should have policies, and I'm sure most of them do, about having cell phones in class. I mean, you can connect to the internet and cheat and all that stuff. So I'm sure most schools do have something on that. But as we all know, you stubborn kid will find a way. And to the parents of these kids having cell phones, I understand why they do have cell phones. My kids are young, and when they get older, I will give them a cell phone, but it will be restricted. You know, it will be the style in which that they can call me, they can send a text message to me, and I can, find out where they're at, where they're going, sort of thing, and go from there. But parents, we got to crack down on these things. Yeah, kids need access, but they don't need access in the middle of school. We have books for a reason. You know, back in my day, we went to the computer lab or the library to do our research where it was monitored. So I think kids really need to have some more discipline placed upon them as far as their access to video games in the middle of class. Again, I'm old and maybe outdated, but I don't know. Some things just don't need to change. So jumping into movie news, like we talked about, Deadpool 2 has dropped another trailer, and it's awesome. I absolutely love this trailer. It is hilarious. The fourth wall breaks are awesome. The nods to old movies and other genres are hilarious. But I'm trying to steer away from too much information for those that want to remain pure, if you will. Those that just want to watch the movie on the big screen without having too much information shared, because, as you know, trailers these days, the more you see them, the more of the movie you do know before you even go into it. So I watch them because I love the hype train. I'm all about it. But I won't spoil anything for those that are waiting to see the movie pure. So just know that it's awesome, and I can't wait to watch it. Moving on to from the big screen to the small screen, and a weird one in my opinion that I don't know if I'm a huge fan of or not, and I don't think it's going to work. Again, just my opinion. Is E1 or E1 Entertainment has secured some funding to make a TV version of Street Fighter. Yeah, that's right. The Capcom beat 'em up fighting game, whatever you want to call it, is being made into a TV series. According to the information that I got from Deadline, the show will follow the World Warrior storyline from Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, and it's centered around Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, and Guile while their attempts to defeat M. Bison in his World Warrior contest where he tries to find out the best fighter. Yeah, it's more Street Fighter. I think they released a movie that did pretty bad. It was pretty much considered a flop. I mean, I watched it as a kid, but that's because it was right around the time Jean-Claude Van Damme was huge, and I love Street Fighter, and they made a crappy movie, but even my kid mind went, oh, it's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, it's the same thing. There's nothing new about any of this. It's another fighting movie. I mean, again, I loved it when it came out, and I also loved Mortal Kombat when it came out, and the second one, Annihilation. I was all about those fighting games because it was my video game childhood happening right in front of my eyes. Maybe they could make it better. Maybe this can actually be something that people care about. But again, personal opinion is how do you make this interesting? How do you make this become a massive success other than, making it a fighting TV show? I mean, there's been success through some of the Marvel stuff on Netflix, but whatever. I'm not trying to dump on anybody, and I hope the creators actually make something amazing. I want to see games succeed, but again, I don't have high hopes for it, so it is what it is. And now coming to the end of it, this is where I typically talk about video games and the ones that new ones that I've played, and give you my opinion on something that I just started or I've been playing for quite some time. Last week I talked about getting a Nintendo Switch and my impressions of the Switch itself, as well as Super Mario World Odyssey. Sorry guys, I've been stuck on this game, and the Switch itself. Super Mario Odyssey is absolutely amazing. I love the game, and the replayability is awesome. It's off the charts. Right now I'm in search to get all the moons and keep playing that. A couple of games that I have wanted to play: Celeste and Zelda. So that'll be my next endeavors. Probably going to jump into Zelda just because I'm hankering for some nostalgia, even though it's a new game. So we'll see how that works out for me, if it quenches that thirst for nostalgia. Speaking of nostalgia and Nintendo and the Switch, Nintendo, if you're listening, the rest of the world has wanted it for quite some time. And now that I have a Switch, I want it too. Give us the virtual console already. Please. We really, really want it. It's an amazing console, and we just want the virtual console. I want to be able to play Zelda from Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and I want to play, old school Mario World from Super Nintendo. I want to play all those games, and I'm willing to shell out the money for it. Please just put it out there already. I don't know if you guys are attempting to do something with, E3 or why you're holding back on the eShop and the virtual console. Just put it out there already. We want it. We'll pay for it. Trust me. You're going to make hand over fist. I get it. You guys got a reason for it, and you guys have a curated, log on the eShop. Every Tuesday games come out. I understand that, but man, we want it, and we want it bad. So whenever you come out with it, we'll all be a part of it. So that kind of wraps it up for this week. As always, I do appreciate everyone out there. And to those that are saying that I'm not going to succeed at this, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to make myself successful in this one way or another. And I'm going to dedicate all my time I can to it. So I appreciate everyone out there for your likes, your subscriptions, your views, and all your support. I really, truly do. I want to say that from the bottom of my heart, I thank every last one of you. So, as always, call a cushion on the couch, and we'll see you next time.